So Hyperloop Transportation Technologies. Well, she did a great introduction. But who of you actually knows what the Hyperloop is? Just raise your hands. Okay, not bad. For the others, we have a little video here that shows the concept and tells a story a little bit. So we're just going to watch that for a moment.
Nation of doers. We build things. We take risks. And we believe that if you have a good idea and are willing to work hard enough, you can turn that idea into a successful business.
Billionaire philanthropist Elon Musk has hinted at a new high-speed transport system that could put planes and trains out of business.
I have a name for it, which is called the Hyperloop.
So what's Hyperloop? Mr. Musk's plan: move people using a massive vacuum tube combined with a magnetic levitation system. Kind of like a Jetsons tunnel?
It's something like that, yeah.
Here's how he teased the idea in May at an All Things D conference.
It's a cross between a Concorde and a railgun.
It's called the Hyperloop. It's a system of giant suspended tubes. Riding within are capsules carrying people or freight travelling on cushions of air at speeds of up to 1,200 k's per hour, or roughly 1 kilometre every 3 seconds.
A tube that would be on pillars from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and inside there would be capsule cars that would be rocketed forward up to 700 miles an hour, and that there would be a fan on the front. Elon Musk basically says that this is the way of the future.
How would you like something that can never crash? It is immune to weather. It goes 3 or 4 times faster than the sort of bullet train, and it would cost you much less than an air ticket.
It will only cost to build this $6 or $7 billion. Compare that to the $65 billion for the current high-speed rail plans for California. He believes this is a viable, valuable alternative for mass transit between these 2 destinations.
Could something like the Hyperloop actually be the answer to super-fast, environmentally friendly, high-speed travel between our busiest cities? So the gauntlet has been thrown down. A design document for a whole new, super-cool way to travel. The only thing now, will someone pick it up and make the Hyperloop a reality?
There are some companies that are forming to try to make the Hyperloop happen, and I encourage them. I think that's great.
Tesla founder Elon Musk proposed this new technology called Hyperloop, and it's being developed right now in Playa Vista, here in this hangar behind me.
The only resistance would be the air in front of the capsule, which we move to the back by using a compressor.
Company Hyperloop has teamed up with the students to create this tube technology that's designed to connect cities up to 400 miles apart.
Dirk Ahlborn says it's safer and more efficient than the railroad.
Well, the system is completely computerized. So you optimize the system, and then you actually have the humans to monitor it. In railroads, most accidents were all human factors. Plus, a lot of the derailments are actually happened because something's on the track. So we're in a closed system. We're completely managed by a computer system. There's no human factor that can actually create those issues. We actually plan on seeing the first Hyperloop very, very soon starting.
Can you imagine and walk us through what it might be like to travel at the speed of sound?
It's not going to be much different than sitting in an airplane, actually. Obviously, for us, it's very important to make it as good of an experience as possible. So this is an independent organization that has formed. We have 170 engineers, scientists, and really great professionals with amazing backgrounds.
The race is on. Elon Musk's vision for a high-speed passenger pods known as the Hyperloop is one step closer to becoming reality this morning. One of the known companies competing to capitalize on Musk's proposal, announcing today it has struck a deal with landowners in Central California to build the first full-scale Hyperloop along a 5-mile stretch along I-5, with construction set to begin in 2016.
Let's bring in Dirk Ahlborn, who is the man who runs the Hyperloop Transportation Technologies team, which is announcing this deal with Quay Valley, California. Dirk, tell me about this deal and really when you expect this Hyperloop, this 5-mile stretch, to be finished.
Quay Valley is supposed to be breaking ground beginning of 2016. That's when we will start working on our development. So We will be starting ground at the same time. At this moment, we expect to be done by 2018.
Hyperloop now appears one step closer to reality. Starting next year, that theory will turn into a groundbreaking in Quay Valley, Kings County off of I-5. A developer there has just committed a big chunk of his private land toward the project. It's a 5-mile loop that would take visitors through a planned entertainment district.
There's going to be a test track. Elon Musk has announced that he's going to build a small-scale test track. It's a necessary step for us to be building a full-scale version, and Quay Valley is a sustainable model town of the 21st century, so it's a perfect fit. They're expecting over 10 million visitors per year, so we will actually be able to generate revenues very, very fast.
The company plans to go public later this year.
We want to do a public offering. We want to give our community that's supporting us the possibility to own parts of the company. We want to make sure that the people that have been helping building the company and this technology are able to participate in the investment, in the fundraising, and the upside of the company.
With their contributions to Hyperloop, these students from around the world now have stock options in the company. But they say they're not in it for the money.
As a student, I start to feel like I'm in part of some great career that might change the world.
Will the Hyperloop kill the railroad?
The Hyperloop is going to do to the US what the railroads did in the 1800s. So it will change the way we live. It's possible today, it's based on existing technologies, and it's the right time, it's the right moment to finally get something doing like this.
Is it visionary? In 30 years' time, will you and I be sitting on our rocking chairs going, well, we talked about it then, and he did it?
Do you think this is possible? This is not just...
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
For all those who said this is just a neat little thing to draw on a cocktail napkin, these guys are saying it will become reality.
All right. So, just to do a little resum, it's basically it's a capsule full of people that moves people really fast from point A to point B. It's basically hovering inside a tube, so it's very similar to an airplane that goes on high altitudes. It encounters very low resistance and therefore can go very, very fast with very little energy. It's 100% solar powered, actually renewable energy, so it's solar, wind, oops, sorry guys. So we use solar, wind, and kinetic energy. Regenerative braking, so the system is completely self-sustained. And we actually have the possibility to generate revenue through the electricity we produce. So how are we going to do this? This is actually my favorite part, I think, because we're here at a startup event, and obviously this is our little startup. Some people actually say, you know, if based on the definition of a startup, I think we would be the largest startup in the world, and I will be getting towards this. So in general, when we look at these areas, when we look at transportation, when we look at any kind of business, we have to we have to keep up with innovation. It's really either you disrupt or you're being disrupted. So maybe you know these companies. They all have something in common. They all failed, right? And BlackBerry is on there. They still have a chance eventually. But then are these companies. And they're doing something really, really amazing. They're actually using crowdsourcing in order to innovate in their company. So normally in these kind of projects, when we talk about a railway, when we talk about big infrastructures, the public really doesn't know anything about what's going on, right? You hear there's a big project happening. One day it's built, maybe you hear how much it's going to cost and you get angry because they're spending all this money, but at the end, you're not involved. So in our case, what we do is we use a community. So we ask people, first of all, anybody can join the team, right? If they're passionate enough, if they have a minimum time available, they can work with us. They get stock options in exchange, and they can work on things they're passionate enough. We go into that a little bit in detail later. But we're also asking questions, and we're looking at everything in detail. So it's about, as an example, when you look at the pylons, normally construction companies, they just build pylons, they have to be there. But when you're a public company, when you're a private company, you have to think about what are we going to do with those pylons? Is there a way how we can use them in a different way? Is there a way that we can generate revenue out of them? Is there a way that we can make them more attractive to people so that they can that they want us on their land, right? Just like a telephone pole, a revenue sharing. Maybe we come up with vertical gardens. I mean, it's really mostly about the process here. And so if I tell you, here are 200 pylons, they're yours, what would you do with them, right? Things like, do we need a ticket? Tickets are actually 1,800. And I'm not talking about paper tickets. It's really about, is this the best way in which we can generate revenue? Or are there other ways? So now I get quoted a lot after my last speech about Hyperloop is going to be free. So what we're doing here is we're talking with the public, right? We want to get ideas. And it's, so when I do these speeches, I always try to get new ideas because everybody of you has an idea and can pitch in. You're all very bright minds. So we want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys think. I personally think that if we can find a way where we make more money, the more people write, then we don't need a ticket anymore. Then the ticket price will be used to direct the passenger flow. So you might pay at 9 o'clock, where everybody wants to ride, you might pay something, but at 10, it's actually free. And we will actually make more money. So making it free or not making someone pay a ticket doesn't mean that we don't generate revenue. So that's a big difference. What we do when we use the community, 10% of the future revenue is actually shared with the community. So we really believe that there's a lot of value. There's things when we do CrowdStorm activities where people can vote on it. They can give their opinion, submit an idea, and if the idea is the winning idea, they're getting their share. So it's a really completely new approach that works very, very well. So this is a document that we actually use in one of our CrowdStorm documents, and it does two things. So first of all, it shows the routes, but those are not the best routes possible. They're actually, some of them are routes where we wanted to get some feedback. So we wanted to see what other people were thinking, and we just published them. And obviously, just because Albuquerque was on there, I think we were 4 times on TV in Albuquerque, and actually got a lot of feedback out of it. But what it also shows is what Hyperloop really is. It's a metro system. So it's a system that connects metropolitan areas. As we heard earlier, the metropolitan areas are getting bigger and bigger, so we really need to find a way to get fast between each other. We are not going underwater. We are not going from New York to Peking. It's really about low-distance travel. 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and you travel 400, 500 miles, which I personally think is amazing. So we really would like to hear from you where you would like to go. What are the routes that, in your opinion, makes the most sense? But we not only have to think about getting from LA to San Francisco. The whole system has to be as easy as pushing a button. So you push a button, a safe-driving car comes and picks you up, an Uber, a Lyft, brings you to a local Hyperloop station, which then brings you to the main station. So now you're within 50 minutes from wherever you are in Los Angeles, in San Francisco. Because if it takes you an hour and a half to get to the station and then 36 minutes to get to San Francisco, we haven't really solved anything. It really needs to be completely integrated. We have to look at the first and the last mile. So this is a part I was mentioning earlier. Our teams are all over the world. We have over 10,000 people in the community. We have more than 400 top professionals that are working with us in exchange for stock options from 21 nations. By now, we have some of the biggest companies in the world joining our team. People really, when they see something they can believe in and they want to change the world, you know, they want to be part of it. These are really, really bright people. They always say the best people are already working for someone else. Well, in this case, we have the possibility that they work also for us. So we have people that are working at Boeing, SpaceX, Tesla, Airbus, NASA, minds from great universities. It's really amazing. So more than $9 million in man-hours calculated. We get 5 new applications every single day. During the whole process, when we started the company, the whole way we're approaching things, we actually believe that raising funds too early is not a great thing. So we wanted first to figure out, is this even feasible? It took us a year, a little bit over a year. We worked. We had more than 400 investors and institutions come to us offering us investment. We always declined. Why? Because we didn't really know what to do with the money. We had our resources. We have the manpower. We were doing our job. It would have been mostly vanity money. It would have been money to give me a great salary. Would have liked that, but still, you know, we had no idea how much money do we actually need, and this is doable. So now we have finished the feasibility study. We have figured out which of the ways we go. We have a place where to go. Our team, when they sign up, are asked, how much money would you actually be willing to invest? So they don't not only come and work for stock option, but they're actually willing to put up some money, which is amazing. We never asked them for it, by the way. The land value we got out of the community, so the easements, are worth more than $12 million, all without nothing. So we have so far not raised one penny. Now this is all going to change, obviously. We're starting to build. We're going to be building in Quay Valley. Quay Valley is between Bakersfield and Fresno. It's an hour north of Bakersfield. Why Quay Valley? Well, it's actually an entertainment destination. So we will be able to transport 10 million people a year. We'll be able to generate revenues very, very, very fast. And we can test out several aspects of the system, optimize the system. We can test different capsule interior designs. We can optimize the boarding procedures. We can optimize the capsule handling. So it's going to be an amazing playground. We already have several city pairs that would like to have the first full-scale Hyperloop. But this is really something we have to do prior to that. Not because of the technology, but you can start building 400 miles if you don't really know how many passengers can you transport, how fast can you get to boarding. So all those steps need to be done first. Now, I think before we talked a little bit, someone was talking about regulations, and now, obviously we're in America. We know this is a project that is very, very complicated in terms of regulations, but we actually think that the first Hyperloop will be seen first outside of the US. So Europe, America are very complicated in these things. We have a lot of interest in Asia. We have a lot of interest in the Middle East and Africa. So we know that once we're done with Quay Valley, we will be starting building a Hyperloop over there. So we'll soon have the first full-length Hyperloop as well. So where are we now? We're now getting ready to do a fundraising activity with our strategic partners. We're doing a public offering in order to give our teams the opportunity to participate in this fundraising. Unfortunately, in the US, it's not possible that unaccredited investors are allowed to invest into startups, or at least only until 30 people. So the people that are actually building this technology, the people that have believed in it at the beginning when everybody else was saying this is not possible, they would be excluded. We then start building Quay Valley. Elon Musk is supporting the community by building an open source test track and doing an open source competition. We will be then optimizing the system and start our first revenues. You can see a little bit an idea of some of the station designs that have been worked on. Obviously, they're very architectonical. So the exciting story here is one is the technology and what the technology can do in our lives, right? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? The other story is about how you can build a company like the Hyperloop really without any money. How can you turn out amazing ideas into profitable companies? How can you get people to join you to make a difference? And we are getting global. We have, as I said, 21 nations. We're trying to, when we go to France, when we go to Germany, when we go to Italy, we're trying to meet people, we meet industry partners. So we talk to engineers, bring new engineers on board, but not only engineers. What we, here in France, for example, are looking for are people that are on the ground, that can work with us on the operation of the company, that spreads the word, explain what it means through social media. So come join us. Thank you.